So welcome everyone. How are you? My name is Cindy. I'm at Simply Cindy. Um, I am a medium. We are doing daily horoscopes. I've come back to YouTube. I used to be on a lot before the pandemic, and then we had all that stuff happen. Anyway, my goal is to come back full time this year. And we used to do daily horoscopes. It was just tarot. I did a little bit of astrology, but now I'm going to incorporate astrology. So I've challenged myself for the next 30 days. So for you guys, you'll be seeing the horoscopes daily. It's not consecutive 30 days because I'm only doing Monday through Friday. But welcome if you haven't seen me. Um, I'll do a little bit of tarot. I'll do a little bit of astrology, but I really want to talk about, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, and I'm also gonna it's not just horoscopes. I'm gonna be putting other stuff in here too. So, one of the things is to reset our vagus nerve. Uh, I'd forgotten to do that in the middle of doing horoscopes yesterday, so I want to do that first. Resetting your vagus nerves helps with your anxiety. It can also help with headaches too. So, um, yeah, let's do that now. So I want you to look straight and cup your hands like this, and then put them in the base of your head and your neck. And then I want you to look straight, but so have your face straight, look straight, relax these, and then your wings, I call them wings, relax your wings. And then I want you to look to the right all the way until you yawn. Ugh. And then we're going to do the other side. So then I want you to cup it again. And then I want you to, with your eyes, look to the left as far as you can. Don't strain yourself and hurt yourself. And sometimes you'll need more time. Like mine went very quickly because I do it a lot. Well, not a lot, but I mean, I do it more often than not. We'll say that. But if your anxiety is really high, if you haven't done this before, it may take some time. So just look to the left until you get that yawning. Sorry. I have to do that in front of y'all so that you see it. So that should help reset your vagus nerve. Take some time during the day if you're feeling a little anxious to have that happen. For those of you that are having like more of an issue and like you're just not yawning, try putting your tongue where your gum and your front teeth meet, where that little ball is, and press on that little ball. Put some pressure up there. And that should help as well. I mean, I have other modalities, but we'll try those as first. This is just to sort of get you to relax, everybody get into the nice space, a little bit more relaxed. And this is the thing, even though we think we're relaxing, sometimes our bodies are in such fight or flight or freeze for so long that it's hard to kind of get out of it. So you may think I'm relaxed, but you may not, your body may not know what relax is, right? This is why we do different modalities. This is why we use herbs. This is why, things to help your body to get out of that sympathetic, parasympathetic thing going on where you're either in fight or flight and not rest and digest. And it's important to be in rest and digest so that when you need to fight or flight, you can do it, right? You don't need to like stay in fight or flight. Does that make sense? We're in such a society where they want us in fear, and we've had fear for a while. Some of us all our lives, but others really when that pandemic started, right? And here's the thing, I've said this before, I'm not keeping this time because last time I did, when the pandemic came, I didn't say anything, even though I knew something was coming. So this time, just know that was a dry run. Okay. And I'm not saying that we're going to have another pandemic. I'm just saying they want us in fear. So we're not going to do that. That's why I'm on here. That's why there are a lot of people on here. We're not going to feed into the fear. That's not what we're doing. This is Aquarius, Pluto. We're changing the generations. We're changing stuff. We're doing what we can do. And how do we do that? By helping ourselves, by changing ourselves, right? So that was a nice intro. Welcome, welcome, everyone. You're probably like, never mind. I don't want to talk to her. uh, anyway, so yesterday, also I want to thank those who are sending me like for coffee, buying me coffee. I appreciate it. We kind of talked about the eclipses, about where we were going, but I kind of want to talk about the actual lunar eclipse and how that's going to affect each sign. I started channeling yesterday. It went in a very different way than I thought it was going to go. So, in fact, if you guys could share this out, like, tap the screen. The YouTube algorithm doesn't know me anymore. So, yeah, we're trying to get back to that. We're trying to get back to where the YouTube algorithm knows what I'm doing and it knows where to put me, right? So let's talk about today just a little bit. I'll do everybody's tarot, and then we're going to talk about if you guys want to stay or you guys want to watch the rest. I'm going to do the lunar eclipse that's coming up on the 25th. And again, I'll edit this down and it'll probably be 2 videos. So for those of you that were here a minute ago, thank you so much. You did the vagus nerve where we were resetting it so we can be in a better space. So today is the 14th. To me, there's always a lot going on in the skies, but to a lot of people, they may say, well, there's not much going on in the skies. No, the sky's always talking to us. The universe is always talking to us. So if you can look here, the moon is between Uranus and Jupiter, right? So there's something that you may be feeling where you can see where you're going. Does that, if that makes sense? If you were here yesterday, I talked about each sign, about where you're focusing, where you're going, what you're going to be doing going through these portals, what you guys like to call portals, the doorway, the new energy, right? And so maybe you guys got glimpses or you're feeling glimpses, because here's where we're going to be heading for the next 2 years and developing that. And that is another thing I want to talk about, but I'll talk about it in a little bit with the lunar eclipse. But it's like, remember, we're the balloon and we're going to go into this new space, and the new space isn't going to feel well because we were in the box that fit so comfortably that was perfect for us. But as we know more and do more and evolve more, we expand like the balloon, right? And so it's comfortable in the box or the house. I used it as a house as well, but we're going to go into a bigger space, so that we can fit better, right? But when we go into the bigger space, it's bigger than us. It's bigger, us as the balloon, it's bigger than us. So it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel like us yet, right? And so I feel like with this moon here, because Neptune and the sun are conjunct, they're not exact yet, but they're talking to each other. So they're conjunct. So it's almost like we're in that creative, dreamy, and we have been for the last couple of days. And I encourage you to just stay in that, because the thing about evolving, the thing about being here on Earth, and the thing about all of this is, I said this before, you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. None of us are broken. We're trying to have the experience. We're trying to have experiences individually and with groups and with others on this earth. That's what's going on. We're having these experiences, right? Now, some of us are evolved enough or want to do it in this way where we are conscious of that and want to be able to go forward consciously. Does that make sense? And so over the last couple of days, it's time to I encourage you to be in this dreamy, creative, magical state. And with the moon here too, there's wisdom in there, there's clarity in there. That's the sun. And this is happening sort of where I talked to each one of you signs about yesterday. But Don't think of it as there's something wrong with me and I'm broken. Think of it as I'm trying to go to this next experience. What is that? Okay, am I done with all the people around me lying to me? Am I done with that experience? Did I learn what I wanted to understand? Did I understand what I wanted to understand? Now I want to go into the space where I don't have to worry about that, where there are people that are just happy and jolly and not everything's a trial and a tribulation, right? Like that's where we're like moving to as a group and individually. Does that make sense to you guys? And so that's why I encourage you to stay in this space of allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to create, allow yourself to do that. You you have Venus here and Saturn here that are really trying to restructure this part. You have Pluto here that's going to show you fear, obsession, um, transformation, trauma, right? So it's like, do we always have to look at the trauma? No. Why don't we focus on the creativeness? Why don't we focus on better spaces? And some of us don't know what a better space is. Some of us have never had a better space, right? At least in this lifetime. I'm sure in other lifetimes you've have. But at least in this lifetime, some of you, some of us have not had a better space. You don't know what that is. And I'm telling you, nobody has been where Pluto is at 1 degree Aquarius, unless you are 3, 4, 500 years old. Otherwise, none of us have been in this space, right? And so we get to create, we get to remember when I said with each sign, with each planet, there is it's the way that you want to interact. What do you want to get out of that planet? Are you going to get the lower frequencies? Are you going to get the mid frequencies? Or are you going to get the more evolved frequencies? So I call it less evolved, more evolved. Right? But you guys say higher, lower. So are you going to get the lower frequencies, the middle frequencies, or the high frequencies? What are you going to how are you going to interact with each of the planets, which is because they're here to help you, right? So what are you going to, how are you going to do that, right? And that's why I'm saying with this creative state, with this dreamy state, with this possibilities that you're seeing, where you could possibly go that you've never been before. What if it was okay? What if there were people that were really, really nice around you and you didn't have to worry about being taken advantage of or being lied to or somebody doing you wrong in a relationship or people being mad all the time or doing without, a home or food or a car or blah blah, like that's what I was saying before in the first one before we got off is they want you, they as in the people that know what's going on this earth, and we know who they are. We don't know exactly their names, but we know what we're talking about, right? I know this is going to go a little bit off, but they want you in fear and they want you to be thinking about how you do without, because our thoughts are things. Our thoughts make this world, right? They know what we're capable of. So I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to say, don't always think of that because I used to say it this way. We live in the past, right? What we thought about months ago, we're living now, right? It's the constant thought of me being without, me doing without, me having this happen, me having that. It's that constant thought that continues to have you live your life the way that it is and you be unfulfilled and unhappy, right? And so you have to consciously think of being in a different space. And in retrogrades where we had that in the last 6 months, that was a different space. This is the universe, the sky, the stars actually telling us now's your chance. This is such an easier space for you to get into the new vibration. What do you want? That's what the universe, that's what the planets, that's what it's all calling out to you right here, right here, right here. Mars is giving you the gumption to do it. Pluto is there saying you don't want any more of this trauma. Mars is saying, you can do this. Venus is saying, you are so beautiful and you deserve better. Um, Saturn is saying, we can restructure this. I am the father of time. We can do the spaces. We can do the time. I can show you how to restructure this, right? The sun is showing you, you have this ego that's good for you. It can be in balance and make everything clear for you, right? Neptune is saying, join me in the creativity where I can go between worlds and bring what your thought is, bring what your feeling is to this earth, right? And Mercury's like, I can help you process this. I can help you communicate this to the world, to earth, to people. I can help you process this, right? All of these are saying something to you. They're all here to help you. And it just kind of depends on which vibration you're going to decide to take. But it's going to it's going to, how do I say this? It's going to have you have to decide. That's part of why I'm doing this is I don't want there to be any more fear, because that's where they want us. They want us in fear so that we continue to do this cycle, because it's a new energy, it's a new space. And if they can get us to continue the old cycle in this new space, well, then guess what? This new space is going to be the cycle again. What we're trying to do is change that. So become aware of that. Does that make sense to you guys? To become aware of that. That's part of what I want to help with, is like, change your thought, change your stance, change your feeling, change your emotion, be consciously aware. And it's only for a little bit that you have to be consciously aware before that becomes the habit. Does that make sense to you guys? So, um, yeah. So I encourage you for today, with the astrology, to continue to let your creativity happen, right? And I already talked, you'll have to look at yesterday's, but I talked about where that's happening for each sign, okay? So, like today, specifically, you might get some wisdom and some illumination because of the moon. So you may feel like, oh, I think I have an answer. Oh, I think I can do it this way. You won't have the answer, but you'll have a way that you're getting to the answer, right? Because we have to go through this portal first, right? So you may get a glimpse, a feeling um, of an answer of the direction that you want to go to. And this is all going to come around, right? I'm going to show y'all in a little bit. I know it doesn't make sense right now, but it's all going to come around when I do the lunar eclipse, because that's what we're feeling. We're about to end Pisces, right? We're about to go into Aries season. We're ending a cycle. Pisces is the 12th house. We're ending a cycle. We're ending the year, right? So Aries, on the 19th or 20th, whatever, the sun goes into Aries, right? That's when we start the new cycle. That's kind of the New Year's for us, right? For those of us that do astrology, for those of us that do spiritual stuff, that's the actual new year, because we're ending the cycle of Pisces. But your body and your mind and your feeling already knows this. Like, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with you. You've always known this. You just aren't always conscious of knowing this stuff, right? So that's why the dreamy state, that's why the wisdom, that's why oh, I kind of see where I want to go. Oh, I'm getting a glimpse of, oh, I'm feeling a little better. No, I'm ready to walk away from this. This doesn't do me any good anymore. Does that all make sense to you guys? Like, your body, your consciousness, your higher self is constantly, it's part of you. So it's like, yeah, you're getting ready to go into this new space. That means you're going to be walking away. Remember, I said yesterday when we talked about, you're going into a new house, and it's your house, you bought it, but it doesn't feel like your house because you don't have anything in it. You have your boxes there, but there's stuff that you couldn't take to the new house because it no longer serves you. You don't need the old dishwasher. You don't need that old bed. You don't need the old TV. You don't need the old cabinet. You don't need the old washer dryer. You're going into a new space where you're going to be acquiring, manifesting new things. It doesn't feel like yours yet, even though it's yours, you bought it and you're going to sleep in there in the house, but not everything's unpacked that you're bringing, right? It's still in boxes. And that's what's happening. We're going to be moving into this new space. But to do that, we can sense that we're going to be walking away from the old space, from the old stuff, right? And so we can think of this time now as you boxing your stuff up to move into the new space, right? You try to decide, am I going to take this? Am I not going to take this? Do I really need this thing from 6th grade? Do I really need this picture that I drew when I was 5 years old? Do I really need it? I mean, kind of don't need it. And, I'm old enough that it's not going to go anywhere. And I've had the memory of it, and it's okay for me to let it go, right? Like, you can think of this space as that right now, right? So think of it as that, but it's exciting. It's like, oh, I know it's a little bit trying because, I mean, like I said, I'm ex-military, so we've moved a lot. I've always moved a lot, even before military. But it's like, oh, it's a little bit daunting because I got to go through all the stuff and I got to like figure out what I'm going to take and what I'm going to leave. And so you can be getting into that space too. But it can also be exciting. It's like, oh gosh, I'm going to go into this new space. Okay, I'm going to do my Virgo side and I'm going to get organized and I'm going to see what I'm going to take and I'm going to see what I'm not going to take and I'm going to be really honest with myself. Okay. And that's kind of what we're sensing. That's kind of what we're feeling. And I think on a global level, we're all sensing that too. We're like excited, but we're a little scared and it's a little daunting, but we can do it. Right. Does all that make sense to you guys? And that's kind of where we're at. And that's why I'm saying if if the planets are saying, let's create right now. Let's just take a break and have a glass of tea. Let's relax. Let's think about how we're going to do this. Let's feel how it's going to feel like when it's all done. How do we want it? Right? That's kind of today's mood. It's been yesterday's mood. It'll be tomorrow's mood because the sun is going to become exact with Neptune in the next couple of days, but we still have that. It's like the universe has always supported us. It's giving us the space to do this, to think about where you want to consciously go, right? And I told you guys yesterday about how each sign would be thinking about it. You'll have to look at the video about that, but that's kind of what's going on. Okay, so I'll end that part of today's and then I'll do some tarot, but then the next part I'm going to stay on live and I'm going to do the eclipse. So we have the lunar eclipse, which is what I was talking about. I told you it was all going to come circle. The lunar eclipse is our way, and tell me if you guys can still hear me. This is our way. This is our way of walking away because we're going to move into this energy, right? And that's the lunar eclipse. We're going to be dealing with this for the next 2 years. Okay. It's like we get to move into the new house very slowly. Okay. And so it's not the only time that we get to decide, oh, I'm not taking this, right? We get to decide a couple of times. Well, I'm not going to take this, and let's see how it looks. Let's see how this new furniture or this old furniture looks in the new house. And then maybe it doesn't look right, so maybe I do decide to leave it later, right? This is the start of that. This is the start. That's the lunar eclipse. We're going to be walking away from something. We're going to be holding space into this new house that we're moving to, this new space, the new box for the balloon. And, we're going to start deciding what we're going to leave, what we're not going to bring with us. Okay, does all that make sense? All right, let me pull a card for each sign. For those of you that don't want to stay for the lunar eclipse, we're going to be talking about, for the lunar eclipse, I'm going to be talking about what each sign is going to be thinking about releasing, walking away from, putting your attention into something else. Okay. Which is what I wanted to do yesterday, but I keep channeling. And it keeps going a different way. That Virgo side of me is like, organize, organize. For those of you that don't know, I have a South Node Virgo. So North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo. So I'm like, it's easy for me to want to like overcompensate, overwork, over organize, be overcritical of myself, right? So I have to like calm that down. um, okay, so we're gonna do Sagittarius first. Yeah, that's what we're doing first. Sagittarius. Okay, here we go, Saggies. Okay, you have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So, Eight of Pentacles reversed. Now, I'm feeling like today, the thing that you have been working on, maybe you do relax on it today. Maybe you do give it some breathing room. Maybe you're like, I've worked on it enough and I do feel dreamy. I am gonna like go explore. I want to have some fun. I don't want to keep thinking about this because I've been thinking about it a lot, right? And so whatever it is that you have been working on, it looks like you have a day of rest with it. It's almost like it's still there. You don't have like the focus about it. So okay, does that make sense? All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, you got the Queen of Pentacles. You, Capricorns, lately, you have gotten Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. Like you're on point. So you have the Queen of Pentacles today. So I do feel like you're possibly in a charitable mood or you're manifesting, actually. Yeah, something comes your way where you can do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Um, I don't feel like it's a big project. I just feel like you're in a space where you can get this done. And as a Capricorn, that is slowing down. That is not overworking. But I feel like you're in a more receptive, charitable mood, if that makes any sense. Okay. So congratulations. For those of you that are waiting for something, that does come in today if you're a Capricorn, because that's the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Aquarius, you have the Nine of Cups. I do feel like y'all are emotional today. Wow, that's interesting. I feel like you're emotional and you're fighting it. Does that make sense? Because if you look how he's got his arms folded. He's not happy that he's having all these emotions and all these feelings. So something's going on where your emotions are being um triggered, I guess, or I don't even say triggered. It's just like you're open and you're fighting it. You're not letting yourself have the emotion. That's really, I mean, everybody knows that Aquarius can not have, can put the emotion aside, but this is interesting that I'm getting that for you. So apparently you need to look at this and allow yourself. Oh, for some of you, it's about being balanced in the emotion. Like, don't let it overtake you. Yeah, because it's with somebody that you trust. That makes sense. All right. Pisces. Pisces, you have the Five of Swords. So, Pisces, I feel God, I feel so much with this. Hold on. I'm feeling like you feel like you have to take a stand. Like you can't even be in this dreamy energy. Maybe that's because Saturn's in your house too. But I feel like you're having to like protect something of yours, or you feel like you have to protect something of yours. Here's the thing, Pisces. I'm feeling, and I've felt this for a minute. I'm feeling this with you guys, and I feel this a little bit with Gemini too. I feel like you have people that want to take advantage of you. But for some of you, it's because you've taken advantage of them. But you didn't see it that way. And so I think you're trying to to reorganize the people around you or the relationships around you. But for today, I feel like it's not a happy-go-lucky, I get into my dreamy state space for you. I feel like you're having to fight for something that you believe in or that you want, or that maybe you feel like somebody had been taking advantage of you for. That makes sense? Okay. And then Aries. Aries, you got the Ace of Wands. Aries, I feel like you're in a good space. So you've got starts that are happening for you. It is coming up to your birthday soon, so you have starts coming on. This you have to take an action for, but I feel like, and again, like somebody had said, "Oh, I didn't get the thing yet." Energy does not stop and start. I am pulling into this energy today, but you may get it tomorrow, or you may have gotten it yesterday, or you may get it in 2 days. You know, it's the time to me is not exact because with every choice we make, things can change. Okay. But I do feel like you're starting something. This is something that makes you happy. This is something that is really lighthearted. But you do have to take some action, which you don't have a problem with. But it's good. It's a start that was needed or wanted and hadn't been coming through. But you're about to see, Aries, we're about to like go full force come April for you. Like you're about to go full force. Okay. All right. So, Taurus, the Nine of Pentacles. Taurus, you've been in such a good space. It looks like you are getting something. Like I feel like you're finally relaxing knowing that you're going to get this position or this job or this inheritance came through or this contract came through or this way came through because it's been so like this for the last couple of years. And I feel like this hard work that you've done is finally coming through. And it's really interesting that it's coming through before all of this is happening. But you are attracting that. So I do feel like you have some good news. I I feel like you have a gift too coming, but this is something that you have been working on. This is not like coming from nowhere. This is just something that goes your way that solidifies some safety and some security and some luxury for you. Okay. Gemini. Gemini, you have the Three of Pentacles. So I do feel like you get to celebrate a little bit today. It looks like whatever you've been working on, you'll get a glimpse that it's going to come through. You get to smile today about it. I do feel like maybe some collaborations will come through, or a collaboration will come through. I feel like if this is at like corporate work, it looks like you get some help to get this little, it's not a big project, it's a little project that you get done. Okay, that makes sense. Cancer, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, good for you, Cancer. So you got something coming. I won't say for all of you that it's going to happen today, but I will say that things are looking up for you and you're going to sense that and feel that and see that today. Does that make sense? It's not that just that you're changing phases because you are, it's that things are actually happening for you that are good. And you're going to see evidence of that. Okay. Congratulations, Cancer. Okay, Leo, you have the Moon. So it's about manifesting for you right now. The Moon tells me that you're seeing whatever it is that you're doing, that you're seeing it as a really like, I don't want to be too flowery with my words, but like you're seeing it as like, oh, this is such a good thing. Oh, this can really happen. I just want you to be creating in that space with your heart open. That's what it is that your heart is finally opening. I do feel like this is for manifesting. I don't feel like anything can happen today, but I do feel like this is for your manifesting. This is where you're wanting to go. And this is like relief because you're shutting some doors and realizing that you don't always have to be mad and that you don't always have to work hard and that you don't always have to, have people around you that are lying to you and doing you wrong. Okay? So, congratulations. That's a better space to be in. All right. Virgo, you have the Ace of Cups. So, Virgo, it looks like you got the start of something that you really wanted to do. This is something that this could be relationship, as in I'm going to tell them what it is that I really need to tell them, and it surprises you that they react the way that they react. Yeah, I feel like you're surprised. I feel like, oh, that went way better than I thought it was going to go. But whatever this start is, that's for some of you. For others of you, this is a start that you're actually, like, if you wanted to go on vacation or if you wanted to start this project or whatever this is something that fills your heart. This is something that feels really good to you. Okay. All right, Libra. Libra, you have the Justice card. So I feel like things are going to get balanced. That's funny that they have the scales there. So things are going to get balanced. I feel like you'll get evidence of that today. I feel like if you've done what you're supposed to do in harmony with you, I want to say that correctly because for some of you, it's okay to manipulate. And if it's okay to manipulate your perspective and you feel like justice was done, then you'll see evidence of that today. If it's not, if it contradicts, but you had the integrity, then you'll see the evidence of that. Does that make sense to you guys? I don't know why they had me say it that way, but my higher self had me say it that way. Okay, so Scorpio. Ooh, Scorpio. You have the Seven of Pentacles. Scorpio, I feel like you have more resources than you think you have. And I feel like your problem is not letting people know that you need some resources. Like you're trying to do it by yourself and you don't need to do it by yourself. You have family and friends and people that want to help. And it's not like, well, if they help, then I owe them. Nothing like that. That's on you. That's your perspective. I feel like you'll get the evidence of that today where you'll see people step up for you. Because I feel like whatever this is, you're really wanting this thing to happen. But you're like, you were trying to see a way to do it all by yourself and you don't have to. People are there to help you. Does that make sense? Okay. And I guess that's it. That's Sagittarius. We started with Saggies, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know it's hard for Scorpios to ask for help, but you do have, I feel it. Y'all have people around you that want to help. They don't know how to because you never ask. And they don't want to upset you. So it's really hard for them to like step up because they don't want to upset you. They don't want you to feel less than because they're helping, but they want to help. That's what I feel. Okay. All right. So, for those of you that just wanted the horoscope, I'm going to end that there, but I'm going to stay online.